underwear all day or something. But in the end, it's been great because all my videos at this point are pretty collaborative. So I should have quit like 4 years ago. You know, it ended up not being a concern that wasn't super valid. But at the same time, that's what I went to school for. And I've tried to keep this stuff as like a hobby in my brain and not make it feel pressure like, oh, this is my thing, you know, to just for the creative aspect, because that's a precious little flame.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, yeah, that was kind of my MO. I know I'm really different in that sense from most people.
I love it. What made you realize that it was time to leave your full-time job though? Like was there something that just kind of clicked?
Yeah, you know what it was is I felt like dishonest in the sense that my brain share wasn't really, so my work at Apple, I just found during the day while I was at Apple, I just wasn't really thinking about Apple and I was thinking about my YouTube stuff, right? And that was like the first time it got to the point that it's like, like I don't need to be working 2 jobs, right? I could probably get a lot more sleep and just do one. And so I was like, this is probably time. It just felt right. It's kind of like one of those things, you know it when it happens, and it felt pretty natural.
Did your colleagues at Apple know you were on YouTube? I mean, they must have, right? Like,
yeah. It's
were some of them just like, dude, why are you still here?
Yeah. I would get that comment a lot, like, dude, why are you here? But the cool thing about Apple, though, is like, I mean, if you Google my name and Apple, you'll see like an interesting patent. Well, I could just say the name of the patent, which is using virtual reality in self-driving cars and like all the implications of that. And it's like a really long patent. What I love about Apple, I'm not saying that's necessarily what I worked on while I was there the whole time, but if you have an idea, they let you go with it and explore it. And if any company's going to make something happen, it's like, that's the company.
What is it like to have a patent? What does that mean when your name's on the patent? If it gets made, will Apple let you get a license fee from that? Or it just means you're the one that like you came up with it, they'll come back. Why is it important?
Rights. Just bragging rights.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, if you develop an idea while you're at a company, like they own that. Or if you develop an idea while you're at a company, they own that idea because they're paying for your time.
But they still credit for some reason who.
Yeah, that's right. You got to give credit to someone, and I think you get Apple gives you like $5,000 or something. So, but compared to like what that money could make them, it's like not necessarily a great fair trade. But I just love the idea. You know, if I come up with an idea on my own, it's really hard to patent it and make something that wide scale come to pass. But at a company like Apple, who's the most, one of the most technologically advanced, and they have a lot of money, is like the best opportunity to make cool things exist in the world.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Dude, it's been so fun talking to you. I'm going to leave with one last question.
Yeah.
Which is from Mr. Farley _speaking. What advice do you have for kids who want to become scientists or engineers? I mean, and you have that, like a massive audience, not just adults watching like myself, but you have a lot of kids who look up to you and are probably doing science because of you. Like what advice do you have?
Which is like a crazy thought, first of all, because like I had like Mr. Wizard's World and Bill Nye the Science Guy, and we were kids and stuff. So it's cool to be in that position. But honestly, just being curious about the world around you when you're young enough and asking questions and figuring them out and experimenting with your hands and building stuff. You're going to suck at first, but that's just important to just build and learn. And then eventually when you get into high school, you can take high school physics, some of the math classes, and see if it gets your heart pumping, Like, I love that stuff. It's really interesting to me. English, and less so, those type of classes in high school. So, I would just say do stuff. Just make stuff. Fail, and then try stuff. And then as you get older, you can start taking more and more classes. And then eventually start a YouTube channel.
Yeah, and I think it's watching people like you, your science, that kind of inspires me to go back. I mean, I haven't gone back to learn math, but if I were interested in it or engineering, like watching your kind of videos would give me the ideas of like, oh, he's kind of solving everyday problems. Like, what are everyday problems in my life is what I'd be wondering. And then, whether it's keeping my siblings out of my room, like I make a cool thing or whatever, like that can kind of inspire the practical, like I need to make this, and then you're in it, in the weeds.
I love to hear that, Zach. That's my goal, right? I love getting people pumped about science and education. We need, our country, the world needs these brilliant young minds for our future. And so it's important to invest in them. The first person to walk on Mars is alive right now. I don't know if they're in junior high or high school. I don't know if they're watching this right now, but they're alive, and
You
that's
what? Okay,
just
so what's your bet on that? What is your view on when someone is getting to Mars?
I mean, my money's certainly on Elon Musk and SpaceX, but I forget what their latest thing is. But I mean, we could see it in the next 10 years.
You think in 10 years that we may have a human walking on Mars?
Potentially. I mean, if it's going to happen, it would be SpaceX and Elon Musk. And so it's kind of like, what does Elon feel like? And it's a major goal for them to make humans a multiplanetary species.
Hmm.
So, I mean, you could say what you want about him. I know, like, he has his issues, but he's also a guy who, when he decides he wants to do something, like, he's got a decent track record.
All right. Well, Mark, it's been so fun having you. I'm glad you're doing well and your family's good. And
thanks.
I'll let you go here, but we'll send people over to your page after this.
Okay. You're the best, Zach. You're like one of like those golden beacons online. I love everything you do. It's so magical, and just who you are as a person. Just
Thanks,
keep it
man.
up.
We'll have to figure out that magic science collab. Oh,
okay.
Or magic or science. Which one is it? Maybe it's All right.
All right,
I'll
buddy.
let you go, man.
Okay.
Peace. Later. And I'm stoked because that was like the first IG live that worked in a long time, like beautifully. I'm glad we got Mark joining us. Thank you again, Mark. And if you guys haven't seen his channel, he makes amazing science videos on the internet if you didn't get that from our interview. But yeah, they're fascinating. He's known for the glitter bomb. He's known for many other fun, like being able to bowl a perfect strike just with mechanical engineering. So check out his channel after this. I'll link to it or his IG so you can go check it out there. Thank you guys so much. I have an amazing guest tomorrow. I'm joined by Bryce Dallas Howard. You may know her from like Jurassic World. She's the star of that movie, and I'm going to have her on. We're going to talk about one of her films that she just finished up that'll be coming out soon called Dads. And so I think you guys are going to love it. Tune in tomorrow at 11 a.m., and I'll see you later.